So, speaking about a subject for your final film and the subject for your first script that you wrote, you have to think of the limit of the pages. So, for your first subject, I told you you have a 5 page limit. And some of you were writing things that are dystopian, when like the world is ended, and while they're on the end of the world, they're going somewhere. This is a feature film. You can't really handle this in 5 pages. So you have to keep in mind when you're looking at your subjects, not only do you want the subject to be interesting, you want the subject to be resolvable, or we can reach some sort of a conclusion for the audience to feel satisfied. So if you open a subject, or if you deal with a subject in a very general way, so if you're doing 5 pages on a whole dystopian post-war, post-nuclear accident, post-environmental disaster kind of world, which a lot of you wanted to do on your script, if you're writing in that way, you're going to need 20 pages, 30 pages to explain this new world, to explain where it's structured, for me to get involved in this new world, for me to care that things are happening. And you don't have that luxury. You don't have 50 pages. You have 5 pages, which means I need you to be able to limit your subject. So even if you're doing, let's say you insist on doing a post nuclear war kind of thing, you write in the action and description, it's a post nuclear world, the year is 2030, 2040. Everything is destroyed. The world is in ashes. People are living in basements, kind of like Love and Monsters. Uh, um, and today the hero wakes up in the basement and walks out. Now, you can do that. That sets up the mood. But what does the hero do? What does the hero handle? Or the protagonist? What does the hero handle during his day? What do they do during their day? This part needs to be a limited question. So if it's a story of love between him and his surviving partner, then a small story, a fight. Not everything from when they met till when they broke up, or from when they met till they have a kid. You can't handle that in 5 pages. Pick one thing. For instance, after a nuclear war, them having a fight just like a normal boyfriend and girlfriend would have a fight on any other day. Because it really doesn't matter. Even if the world ends, we still have relationships, we still have everything. Our human curiosity, our interest, is always about the human. It's never about the big picture. We couldn't care less what's happening to the universe. We care about what's happening to the person, to the individual. And try to stick with subjects you would know about. Like I've gotten some that are writing papers about having kids and getting divorced. Okay, you could write that as somebody who maybe saw their parents go through it. I myself saw that. You can write that from the perspective of a child going through that, but don't write a perspective that you don't know about. Don't pick a subject so big like getting divorced if you haven't gotten divorced. Because you don't know what it feels like to get divorced. You know what it feels like to have parents or see friends' parents get divorced. But you don't know what it's like to get divorced, so don't write about things you don't know about. You know about heartbreak, you know about cheating, you know about getting drunk, you know about expectations, dreams, tension with parents, tension with society, you know about feeling lost, figuring out who you are, you know about embarrassing things that have happened to you, you know about why you're angry with the world. Deal with this. Even if you're dealing with politics and you want to fix the world, we're not interested in the big picture of how you fix the world. We're interested in your personal perspective on what's wrong with the world. So you have to understand, keep it as much as you can local to you. Keep it about something you feel strong about, something you're curious about. And when a film ends, the audience is supposed to go on this journey. Remember, I was explaining to you the journey, the call, the journey, and the external journey and the internal journey. The external journey is what you actually physically do during your day. Your internal journey is about how you change as a person, as a human being. How what's happened externally, or how the challenges you went through in life have changed you as a person. And that's the part where I need you guys to kind of really focus, because the most interesting thing is not what happens. What is details? It's circumstances. What matters is why. Why did things happen? How did my character react? How does my character feel? How does the other person feel? How does the enemy feel? How does the villain or the antagonist feel? Because they're also interesting. And humans are very three-dimensional. None of us are angels, none of us are devils. There's always something here and there. And the more you can explain the why of the psychology, the more you can talk to me about why they're doing what they're doing, the better. The more it makes sense. The more it applies to you, the more I connect with it as an audience. See, the more genuine your voice is. We're humans. I've tried to tell you this before. As humans, we share the same lifespan. We're born, we grow up, we're educated, we have conflicts with our education, we rebel against our education, we rebel against our parents or our guardians. We then come to discover who we are. We fuck up, we make a lot of accidents, we do a lot of dumb things, we change our identity a million times. This is the stages you're going through. You change the way you look, you change what you listen to. You're trying to find yourself. And you're constantly going to be changing and growing. Now, the more you focus your story on the kind of feelings you're feeling, on the kind of questions you're going through, the more interesting this story is. Because the more truth there is. You don't need to answer what the meaning of your life is. No one has been able to. You don't need to tell me what the greater good or what the point of the world is, but you just have to tell me about your internal anxiety, your internal pleasures, your internal grievances, your internal fears. What makes you tick? Take that, exaggerate it, change it, reverse it, and put it into the characters you write. Make them interesting. Again, I don't care what they do. I'm caring why they do what they do. That's what makes you an interesting human being. When you look at people in the streets, you wonder about their clothing, but then your brain immediately goes, why are they dressed like this? Where are they going? Why do they look like that? If you've ever seen a couple talk or fight, I know this is evil, but even when couples fight, it's the most fun thing to watch from a distance. So if you watch a couple fight, you see their behaviors, you see how their behavior changes, and it's a super remarkable thing. Okay,